the snow. Now wash me, and I shall be whiter than the snow,
Greetings, brothers and sisters. It's that time again where we talk about evangelism. Many people think that evangelism is a myth or it's for the very few selected, but allow us to say evangelism is for you, it is for me, and it is for all of us. We are going to consider a text from the Bible, Matthew chapter 28, probably from verse number 16 to verse number 20. I'll read from the King James Version. Then the 11 disciples went away into Galilee to the mountain which Jesus had appointed for them. When they saw him, they worshipped him, and some doubted. And Jesus came and spoke to them, saying, All authority has been given to me in heaven and on earth. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all things that I have commanded you. And lo, I'm with you always, even to the end of age. May the Lord add a blessing to the reading of his word. Now, evangelism is coming to us as something that was initiated by Jesus. Maybe let me give you a brief background about this one. Jesus called the disciples, trained them, and assigned them. He called them into service, trained them in service, and assigned them for service. What did he do? He said to Peter, follow me and I'll make you a fisher of men. That's evangelism. He's saying, Peter, you have a skill that you have. You are a fisherman. You are a fisherman. But with that skill, I want you to come and be part of ministry and use that same skill of fishing fish to fishing men. That's how Peter became a fisher of men. That's evangelism. And when he was called into evangelism or into ministry by Jesus, day in, day out, Jesus and the disciples, they were working together. Who was training the disciples? Jesus was training them and teaching them what evangelism is, what reaching out is, what spreading the word is, and what preaching the word is. So, Jesus was training them in service, but take note of this one. They were in service not only following Jesus, but also doing the practical experience of service. They were already doing service, which means when Jesus was teaching them evangelism, he was training them while they were busy in evangelism. Allow me to say to us, brothers and sisters, the call to evangelism is not only for the graduates. The call for evangelism is not only for those who can say we now have experience with worship, we now have experience in Christianity. No. Once you accept the call to evangelism or the call of being a Christian, you automatically become someone who has been called to evangelism. So when Jesus had called them, he made sure that they were trained for service, and he made sure to give them a practical experience of what service is. So allow me to say to us, brothers and sisters, being a Christian is not Christian enough. You can only be a Christian once you start being involved in service, once you start being involved in evangelism. So to say, my brothers and sisters, yes, you are not a pastor, but you are an evangelist. Yes, you are not an elder, but you are an evangelist. Yes, you are not a deacon, but you are an evangelist. By accepting the call to be a Christian, you accepted the call to be an evangelist. That's why Jesus picked the disciples. What else did Jesus do? After training them in service, he says to the disciples, now my brothers, I'm now going back to the Father, but I'm not going to leave you idle. He says, now ye therefore, go out and teach them. Not only teach them, but teach them to observe what I have taught you. That's where the story goes deeper. Why am I saying so? Jesus is now saying to the disciples, I've called you, I've trained you, now I'm assigning you. Brothers and sisters, I don't know how long you've been in this church. I don't know how long you've been in ministry. I don't know how long you have been a Christian. But the call to Christianity is after Jesus has trained you. He expects you to go into service. He expects you to go into mission. That's when we come to Matthew chapter 28, verse 16. It says, then he called the 11 to a space which he had appointed, which means they did not appoint the place, they did not choose the place. It's Jesus who chose the place. Yes, let me tell you something, our brothers and sisters, we are in this church not because of other people, but because God commissioned this place. We are part of this ministry not because there are people that have called us. No. We are part of it because God has commissioned it and God has appointed the place. Why am I saying God and why am I saying Jesus? Because he says all power has been given unto me. Why did he call us? Why did he call you? Why did he call everyone? He called us to go ye therefore and make disciples of all nations, teaching them to observe. I will skip some other parts, but the part that I love the most is saying teach them to observe all things. Jesus has called us and he has trained us, and now he's assigning us to go and teach the people to observe all things that he has commanded us. To us, it's a command, but to the people that we are going to teach, we are going to teach them to observe what he made a command to us. Brothers and sisters, the call to evangelism is a call to go and educate everyone. It's a call to go and teach. It's a call to go and preach. It's a call to go to everyone, teaching them to observe what the Lord has commanded us. But what could be our barrier? What could be the challenge? The challenge could be me and you not being able to observe. Take note of this one, brothers and sisters. You cannot teach someone to observe something that you cannot observe. You cannot teach someone to be someone that you're not. Which means when we talk about going to teach them to observe, it starts with us. Have we now mastered the art of observing? Have we now mastered the art of knowing to follow the commands of God? Have we mastered the art of living as Christ has taught us to live? Once we master all that, we can go out, teach, and preach to the nations so that they also observe what the Lord has called us to do. Brothers and sisters, the call to evangelism, it's not a personal call from Pastor Piri. Neither is it a call from the general conference or from the church bodies, but it is a call from Jesus himself. He is saying unto us, yes, go and teach, go and preach. Make sure the world knows of what I have taught you, what I have commanded you, so that they may be able to observe what the Lord has taught them. May the good Lord bless you, brothers and sisters, until we meet again. Let's remember, we are called to evangelize. God bless you.
Thank you for being with us here on Three Angels Messages Network, and I hope that you've been blessed as you've been listening to presentations. Please join us again next time. If you have not already liked our page, please click on the like button or subscribe to our YouTube channel.